So I'm going to give you my favorite primers when it comes to painting kitchen cabinets. So for wood cabinets, I'm always going to say oil-based primer is going to be your best option. However, oil-based primers really stink and they're kind of hard to work. You can get this primer from Kills, which is a low-order primer, and the smell's not too bad. The next primer I'm going to suggest is a shellac-based primer. I like using this white pigmented shellac, and the reason why I like it is because it dries really fast. Now, these two primers are the best because they're the only primers that will stop tan and bleed, which I'll get to in a little bit. Now, when you're using these primers, you're going to have to use a natural bristle brush. You're also going to need paint thinner. That's the only way you're going to clean up any spills and messes. Now, these primers are very potent, so you're going to have a well-ventilated area. And you're definitely going to need a respirator. It's very important that you use a respirator, trust me. One time I didn't use my respirator and I almost passed out from the fume. Now, if you don't feel comfortable using solvent-based primers, there's another option. The next primer I'm going to suggest are water-based and they're much easier to work with. So another product I'm going to suggest is Extreme Bond Primer. Like I said, this is a water-based primer and it's urethane modified, which means it kind of acts like an oil-based primer, but it's water-based. The last one was Sherwin-Williams. This is the Benjamin Moore product called Stix, S-T-I-X. Kind of hard to see, but it's a urethane modified primer, which works really good too. Now, the only real downside to these water-based products is that they don't block stains. So you'll get something like this sometimes, which is called the tannin bleed. And although these primers say that they're stain blocking, they're really not. But if you end up using these water-based primers, which they're really good and I really suggest using them, and you end up with these type of stains, these tannin bleed, you can always fix those spots by spraying them with an oil-based or a shellac-based primer out of the can. Now here's a trick of the trade that you can use to minimize the risk of getting tannin bleed when using water-based primers. Have the paint store tint your primer gray. So by tinting your primer gray, you're going to reduce the chance of this happening. So to sum it all up, oil-based primers are going to be your best choice. Urethane modified primers are going to be your second choice, but you might get bleeding. And if that helped, hit one of these buttons, and if you have any questions, leave a comment below.